This is the Carty Method Podcast.
Welcome to Portfolio Lab. I'm Steve Carty, and every week, what I do is I try to help you, the emerging or struggling photographer, level up. Every week, there's an opportunity for you to submit your photos for review, and nothing makes me happier than seeing the work that you share. So why do I do these? Why do I do these photo reviews? Well, because photographers don't usually have a feedback loop. Photographers don't usually have somebody that can help them with their work. And if you get the right feedback loop, I had a good feedback loop when I was starting to be a pro 35 years ago. And I also went to photography school where I had photo critiques every week where my professors ripped my work apart. My goal with this is to help you take the work that you're making right now to a higher level, to an incredible level where you actually get paid for your photography. Portfolio Lab is the fastest way for you to develop a portfolio that's at the level that's worthy of getting paid. It's super simple. And the whole idea about this week's assignment is I'm trying to challenge you. I'm trying to challenge you in a new way. And the way that I'm challenging you this week is because today's Thursday. Thursday, I give you a pro level assignment, and my goal is to help you take that pro level assignment and put out work that is mind blowing, is portfolio worthy, and it's worthy of you getting hired. So portfolio work is what we're looking at. But today, I asked you to make a very specific picture type. I asked you to photograph your niche at night. Your niche at night. And I'm going to show you some examples of some of my own photographs that I've made over the last bit, where you're seeing me shoot CD covers, shoot magazine editorial, all at night, and as well as personal work. I've been pushing what is possible with photography for decades, and diving into shooting at night really started for me with the invention of digital photography. And for me, that goes back to 2004. 2004 is when I shot my first digital images, when I got my first digital camera. And that's when I started with shooting my niche at night. And you can see over time now, me shooting in low light, shooting in not ideal conditions, has now become my comfort zone. And mixing outdoor strobe, outdoor LED, it's now given a new look and feel to my current work that no one else is doing. So it's important. And I'm very excited about looking at your niche at night. But I think it's important to just show you a little bit of my work to show you how I handle my niche at night. Whether it's CD covers, whether it's shooting television promo, or doing personal work, we really can push incredibly far, whether you're using artificial light or you're using existing light. If you know how to find it exposed properly, you're able to really push a new level of night photography that fits within your niche and adds a new dimension and a new level of possibility to what's possible with your photography. So I'm really excited. So today's brief: create an image that showcases your ability to shoot after dark. That's the whole idea. You can use ambient light, you can use artificial light to create a feeling that and create a scene that is grabby, is sticky. Demonstrate your technical ability and challenge yourself to light under non-ideal conditions. So I think we have, see how many photographers we have today. I believe we have 12 photographers that stepped up and were brave enough to submit their work today. I'm excited. We're starting. Let me just quit this one because we no longer need that in the mix. Perfect. We are starting with Delilah LaBoy. Delilah LaBoy. Let's get it on. Thank you so much for submitting. I like this. I like what you're doing here. And it seems that you're leveling up. I mean, it's hard to tell whether this is a night photograph or this is a photograph that you're shooting inside or in studio with no light. But you're pushing yourself, Delilah, into new realms, into new areas. This is one of the best shots that you've done. And I'm incredibly, incredibly impressed by how you delivered a low light, niched, well concepted photograph. And again, like the more reps that you have on this, like your side light, like here's your subject. We're doing this as a top view. This is your camera. You have one flash or one LED here and one LED here. So you're doing side light in the most side lighty way, which is okay. But what ends up happening is you're losing light on the face here, and the face actually ends up shadowing itself. I know what you're trying to do, but let me show you a secret. With the same scene, this is your subject. This is your camera position. Well, let's maybe move your camera position back a little bit. Camera position here. Now, rather than coming here from 100% the side, come from here. Okay? And then instead of coming from here on this side, come from here. So you're just cheating this light a little bit. Like if this is your 50% axis, you could shoot almost at like 45 degree and get way better, more flattering light here and still achieve the same look and feel here. So also another idea is go frontwards with one, and the second one come back this way and come in here. So this second light, which is this orange light, actually just becomes a rim. So it's coming in from the rear. And what that ends up doing now is it separates the hair, which we're losing. The hair here, it separates the shoulder, which we're losing, because instead of you having side light, you have front light. You have front light coming in this way. And then you have a rear light coming in this way. And that gives you that another color. But that now elevates this to the next level. But Delilah, a really good swing. I'm giving you an 11. This is like you're leveling up. End of story. You're leveling up. Every time you submit, you're better than the last week that you submitted. So this brings me joy. This means that Portfolio Lab is working for you. Portfolio Lab works for the people who choose to use it. I'm kind of worried about where you're going now in the next coming months, weeks, and especially if you're trying to get into Portfolio Lab. This is going to be crazy. I mean, if you're trying to get into my accelerator. All right. Small thing here. Watch your hands. His hands are in his pocket, which I love. But I'd love you to be back just a little bit because we're losing his hands here. I want you to see this as a cover and see how your framing is. And then I want you to look at this as an 8x10. and see how you're framing. Like you're biased that way. You're biased that way just a little bit too much. So work on centering so you're framed properly. It's hard because you're shooting a dark on dark, but I know exactly where the edge of the frame is. And you'll see that in Lightroom or Capture One. So again, I'm not taking this away from you. I'm still saying that this is a really good swing, but I see all. We know that I see everything. You did very well, though, Delilah. Well done. All right, that was Delilah LaVoy. That's our first shot of the day. You guys know me. I'm Carty. I am a professional photographer. I've been a professional photographer since 1990, and it is now 2025. Crazy. So it's 35 years. Started shooting pictures when I was 14. Went to a high school that had an incredible photography program. I got spotted by my photography teacher in high school. She's like, "You're a photographer." I'm like, "Is that a job? I don't want to shoot weddings." And then she brought me American Vogue. She said, "Here." And I said, "What's that?" She's like, "This is Vogue." And I said, "These photographers, like, they get paid to do this?" And she's like, "Oh yeah." And I'm like, "This is a job, like shooting models in beautiful locations, hair, makeup, clothing. This is a job." And she's like, "Yes, it's an amazing job and people get paid incredibly well." From that point, all I wanted to do was be a fashion photographer. And I shot fashion. I went to photography. And then she also went to Ryerson, this incredible teacher of mine, this high school teacher. She went to Ryerson. She was a Ryerson graduate. And she said, "You should go to Ryerson too." And put that in my mind that I could go to photography school and learn how to be a professional photographer. And that's what I did. So I started my first studio when I was 21, registered my business when I was 20, shot my first cover when I was 23, got published in a magazine at the first time, like when I was 21, and started shooting for the Globe and Mail newspaper when I was 23. And that unlocked shooting Tom York from Radiohead when I was like 27, and Phil Collins and Roger Moore, and that just unlocked a career for me. So I'm a lifer. My whole life, from age 14 when I saw a camera, age 17 when I saw Vogue for the first time, my whole life has been geared to being a professional photographer. And I'm now 55, which is mind-bending because I feel like I'm about 25. You know what I mean? But I've been doing this for a really long time. All right, that was Delilah. Well done. This is Nakumba Booker Jr. Nakumba shot this with a Canon M50 with a 24-70. Shot at ISO 400 at a 24 mega. Oh my God, my brain today. 24 millimeter at f3.2 at a 60th of a 3.5 at a 60th of a second. Shot with one newer strobe. This is Nakumba Booker Jr. Nakumba. Let's have a look. Nakumba, you're starting to get a bit better with light. For me, your niche at night, you're definitely making a night picture and you're definitely lighting this picture, but it's still like girls at the club, just kind of, you know what I mean? It's not an editorial kind of a feeling. It's just more on the event coverage kind of feeling. Your light is good. Your exposure is just a little bit low. I want you to look at my skin here. Exposure here, especially on this girl, this is a little bit under. We're going to call this under by like half a stop. I see what you're trying to do though. Like you are trying to put yourself into new conditions, which I appreciate. I'm going to show you this as a cover. I'm going to show you this as an 8x10, and I'm going to show you it's very, again, like Nakumba, you're trying, which I appreciate. The hard thing is this this like snapshot sort of feeling. Like you were there, you had your camera, they were sitting there, you're like, hey, can I take your picture? And they're like, yeah. And then a picture was taken. You know, like I'm sure you didn't shoot more than 2-3 frames. It's like that's kind of what it feels like. We're trying to shoot one of them at a time, like shoot this girl and then shoot this girl. Maybe try some that, like, again, this feels more like you're shooting this to impress them. You're shooting this just to impress them. But the commercial appeal for this photograph after has none. It's just relevant to these two people. And that's the way that you're still making this feel like you're taking pictures rather than making pictures, where you're executing an idea with these people that'll have like a little bit more traction. So Nakumba, I see what you're doing. As far as your niche at night, like yes and no. I feel like event coverage it's not the highest frequency of photography. It's pretty easy to impress people who don't know good photography. So it's still a good swing. You have good focus, good close exposure. It's an okay idea. I just really want you, Nakumba, to be trying harder when it comes to your niche at night, especially based on some of the other photographs that you're going to be seeing today, the pictures that I showed you of shooting at night. And yeah, I'm just wanting you to push your bar higher. This is Nakumba Booker Jr. Nakumba, thanks for submitting. All right. It's tricky. It's tricky when it comes to shooting your niche at night. And the pictures that I showed, when you look at like how I show my portfolio and how I mix in close, medium, wide, how I mix in a little bit of my fashion sensibility and my editorial sensibility. But this shooting, whether I'm shooting at night, whether I'm shooting during the day, whether I'm shooting an editorial, the whole idea is all the photographs feel very deliberate. There's no real snapshotty kind of a feeling. There's control in every image. And that's where I'm trying to help you get to, Nakumba. It's the control where you're not seeing me in the club. You're not seeing me in the club with my camera. Hey, can I take your picture? I just don't do that. And that's what I'm trying to teach you and trying to shape you away from doing that type of work. I hope that inspires. This is Nakumba Booker Jr. Nakumba, thanks for submitting. All right. Next up is Lincia Taylor. Lincia shot this with a Nikon D810. Yeah, 810 with a ISO 200 50 millimeter at a 2.2. Using this, camera light, off-camera light is what it says. Lincia Taylor. Lincia, let's see what you're doing. Lincia, thanks for submitting. So Lincia, this is a tricky one. There's a lot of things that are going on here, but I appreciate the attempt. The first thing I see is contrast. And I'm going to zoom this up, but your contrast is quite high. And because your contrast is quite high and your light is only in this very small spot and she's wearing black and you're shooting black on black, we have we lose her right here and then she goes invisible. Everything down here is invisible because of what she's wearing and how focused your light source is, and because you really increase the contrast in post-production. Now, when I'm looking at this closer, you can see that you're really pushing the contrast here and the hard light. So what ends up happening is you can see the skin tone here, but then under here, the skin tone here, and then the shoulder, the skin tone, like her skin tone starts to really change because again, it's a small source that's hitting her relatively close to camera position. So that it gets a little bit tricky light wise. What she's doing, the pose, her looking at her hands instead of looking at camera, like the idea, it's hard because it's idea plus where she's looking plus where you're photographing her. There's, again, Lincia, this is hard. I'm asking you to try hard things shooting your niche at night. It's tricky with this location because a majority of the light source that you're using is hitting up here. You're not using a source bigger than these very small like LED lights, which aren't really giving enough light. And then the light that you're using is kind of dominating it. There's a lot of mistakes here. My suggestion when you're shooting at night is to go to where light actually exists. Go to a parking lot, go to an underground parking lot where there's lights that exist that will pick up in the camera. So you're not basically if there was no flash, you would just have a vast nothingness and a little bit of these pot lights. So it's close, but for me, this one is a bit of a miss. I want you to try, just keep your ideas a little bit simpler. Remember, if you're going outside to shoot at night, don't have your subject wear black, especially if you don't have a major, you need contrast. So that to me, the light here and the light here, have her wear white, have her wear red, have her wear purple because it's matching what she's wearing up here. So there's a little bit of a separation between what she's wearing and the background. This is a hard assignment, Lincia. This is a hard assignment. This is a good swing for you. I want you to just keep swinging, and I would love to see you try to submit at night again, because again, it's necessary, Lincia, but it's a really good swing. Try it again for me. All right. This is Mr. Klasnia, Victor, Alexander Klasnia, shooting with a Sony 7 Mark II, A7 Mark II. All right, let's have a look at Alexander Klasnia. Alexander, your niche at night. Okay. This is a double exposure that's really kind of throwing me a little bit. It on its own, this background picture, I definitely see, but what's happening with this, it's like you're trying to be a designer more than a photographer, and you're trying to include two different things in the same photo. Alexander, I can just give you reviews where it's like, hey, that's great, thanks for submitting. I can do that, but I'm trying to push you into harder, better, and higher frequency, and doing ideas that this situation, the product photographer would be a different photographer than the guy who shot at Gooder and Mort's. It would be two different photographers, and then it would be a third person, an art director, a designer, who then made that composite and put that photograph together. So you're doing all of the things, and from my perspective, it ends up feeling a little dated, and it ends up being a little bit like Alexander, this is a tough one for me. This is a tough one for me. All I'm gonna say is this is a good swing. This is a good swing. Thank you for submitting. It works as a cover. And let me hide that. And as a vertical, as an Instagram, you can see where you're going to be dealing with a little bit of crop issues because of the way that it's framed. But again, I'm trying to help you, Alexander, but it feels like you just want to do what you want to do, which all I can do is support that. Thank you for submitting. I appreciate it. Alexander Klasnia. All right, who's up next? Okay, this is Israel Cordona the third. All right, shot with the Canon R6 Mark II with a 50 millimeter. Israel Cordona the third. Let's have a look. Israel, thanks for submitting. So I see what you're doing. I see what you're trying to do. And your niche at night, again, it's tricky. It's tricky. This is a good attempt. For me, him leaning against this, it ends up like I would love to see him just standing, and the location that you're choosing to put him in, for me, it doesn't feel like you went far enough. Like, I feel like your house is like over here, and then it was like, oh, okay, let's go make a picture of my son. And then you came out here, and then you're like, okay, cool. And then you got it. Like, the location that you choose, it really has to hit. And from my perspective, there's some things in the background that are distracting. Like, this blue here is distracting. What's going on down here is distracting. What's happening behind his shirt, this is distracting. That's distracting. So you can see now you're fitting you're following the brief because you're shooting your niche at night. But the first thing is finding the right place to shoot at night. Finding the right location that fits and matches this sensibility and what he's wearing. The light on his face, you can see it's a little bit of mixy light, which is putting this, I can see your strobe, which feels like it's low. But this light now, this kind of is around his eye, is all because of placement. So I also see what looks like a studio or like a speed light here, but then this down here. So it's putting some weird light on his face, which you can see that light at this distance because this now just becomes way more predominant. And again, it's where you chose to shoot this. He's quite cut in half by the background. He's quite cut this way. And again, it feels, Israel, like he's just doing this for you because you asked. There's not like life or pose or vibe or commitment with the photo. Hoodie needs like a little bit of a pull. You can see the hoodie's there and super long here. This is like pushed over that side. Like, it just feels to me like a little sloppy. And when we're trying to shoot editorial, like, is the hoodie the feature? Is this a portrait, or are we selling the hoodie? Like, we have to decide what the most important thing of the photo is. And for me, Israel, again, it's like, this is close, but when we're trying to go really far with doing editorial photography, you have to be as intentional with where you shoot at night as you are with where you shoot during the day. It's not enough of a hit for it just to be night photography. But again, this is a good swing. It's a good swing, couple of mistakes. But it's a good swing. There's a good sensibility here. It's one of the best so far. All right, this is Israel Cordona the third. All right, this is Natalie Shalem. Natalie, Natalie shot with a Sony A7R5 and a 35 millimeter lens. ISO 100 f6 at a sixth of a second. This is Natalie Shalem. Natalie, thanks for submitting. Kind of on the fence here, Natalie. There's a couple of issues here. That you're trying to do like a little bit of light painting, which it doesn't really add to this scene. It just feels like you're playing. Light painting needs to be super intentional, and it doesn't really make sense. Like, where is it coming from? Where's it coming from? Like, there's no car going by. There's no real reason to see light painting in this, because it really is just you with what feels like a flashlight going like this. Like, that's what it feels. And it's not what we're trying to do here. It's not what we're trying to do. So you see, like, that for me, it takes me out of it, because I don't like with this scene, without this and without this. Well, now you're starting to get something, because it's a bit of a scene. Now, the exposure that's on him, yes, but the color balance that's on him, you see how red this is. Like, very red, very red, very red. And I don't know where this red is coming from. Is this a red light that's a street light that's lighting him that way? So because we don't see the light, and then the light that's happening, let me take that out. The light that's coming down here, well, this light down here is green light. And I don't know why this is here. So I'm trying to reconcile the color balances that you're using. I feel like this is like his pose, the bare feet. Like, I feel like the light on him is great, but the color balance is wrong. The light painting is unnecessary. If the light painting was taken out, I feel like that could have been it could have been a stronger cover. It could have been a stronger editorial picture, but I feel like this business with what you're doing with that, it just, there's no context. There's no reason for it. And we don't need to do stuff in photography that there's no reason just to make it look cool. So for me, that takes me out. Natalie, I'd like to see another attempt at this. And the other thing, the color balance on him, it has to be neutral. It has to be neutral. It has to, I can't even spell today. It can't be neutral. This is part of my issues. It can't be red or blue, or like, I want to see it neutral. And you need to test that before you start really trying to do gelled light stuff. There's a photo in here, Natalie. There's a photo in here. Like, I see it. I just feel like this isn't perfectly executed. I hope that helps. This is Natalie Shalem. Natalie, thanks for submitting, Natalie. All right. So, you guys do know that my professional photographer's accelerator is starting again on the 28th of September. Now, in order to start on the 28th of September, there's a lot that we have to do. There's a lot that my team has to do. And the most important thing is choosing the right photographers that are in this next round. How you get in is simple. Go to thecartymethod.com/accelerator. I do have an info session that you can watch, but we're getting too close to the beginning of my accelerator. We're getting too close. And the applications, we're taking these applications like starting on Saturday. So I've made this incredibly easy to get into my accelerator. Just go to thecardymethod.com/accelerator, which is right here. Step 1, download the application, which you just click here, and it's 100% free. All you need to do is fill that out. You can see here it's marked out. So name, address, email, confirm, click, go. That's step 1. Next, work on this application and quickly, because Saturday is going to come really quick. And then third, export it as a PDF and send it to accelerator@thecardymethod.com. I want you in there. I have quite a few people who are in my portfolio lab, and they're kind of like sitting on the fence and haven't quite like. But then I have people who also hear about my accelerator, join portfolio lab because it's part of it, start making the right work, and also start developing their business the right way. Hey, Alisa, thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you. So yeah, I'm trying to get the right people in this, and my accelerator is, I think, the smartest thing that I do. It's the smartest thing that I do because it's so effective. So I would love to have you in my accelerator. If this is something that you're thinking about, go to thecardymethod.com/accelerator and download that application so you can finish it and get it back to us so we can pick who gets in there. All right. Thank you for listening. All right. Let's talk a little bit about, and I mean, this thing that I'm doing here for photographers, it gets me emotional because the results are real. And speaking of results, this next photographer that I'm about to look at, his name's Mike Graves. And Mike Graves is in my current round of my accelerator. And Mike Graves is right now, after not being in my accelerator for long, he's only been in here for this is like the first real iteration of his website. Graves is doing 8K a month on retainer. And he's also a cinematographer. He has such a strong video sensibility. He's been editing content. He's been editing my edited YouTube videos. But Graves is in my accelerator, and in a very short time, this guy's unlocked 8K a month. So proud of you, Graves. Mike Graves. And he submits. He submits to Portfolio Lab, and that's what he's about to do. He shot this with a Sony A7 IV with a 14 millimeter 1.8. Let's have a look. Continuous light. And again, I've never seen this before. This is Mike Graves, the Sony A7 IV. Let's see Mike Graves. Where are you, Graves? Here you are. All right, everybody. This is Mike Graves. Mike, this is a sensibility that I've been trying to tap on you. Look how much better you got, bro. Look how much better you got. Look how much better you got in exposure. Look how much better you got in idea. Like, this is strong, Mike. This is strong. I mean, I'm gonna be dickish. I want to see a little bit more of this. I want you to give me this just a little bit bigger in the frame. So a little bit more centered in the frame, because this is such a centered, balanced thing. Feel like this is a little bit close. Have a look at what this looks like as a cover, right? And you can see, I want this to be centered. And again, I'm sure you have this frame. I'm sure you have a centered version, but I need it to be centered. Bigger issue is when this goes to Instagram. And I want you to see how tight this frame is on the bottom. This now, for an art director, because you lose, and I'll say it again, you lose an 1/8 of an inch. You do, well, 1/8 of an inch. So not, you lose 0.8 of an inch. Okay. So because you lose, and I'm trying to demonstrate that by showing you an 1/8 of an inch crop around here, right? So because of that, well, now you see how close it is here, and you see how close it is at the bottom. Well, now looking at it, you're like, oh shit, I'm really claustrophobic to the bottom of this frame. And I'm really claustrophobic to camera left. So don't do that, Mike. Don't do that. It's not necessary. It's not necessary. And again, I'm trying to turn you into a killer. And how I do that is by pointing out every single one of these tiny, silly mistakes. Let me see the bottom of this go here. So you're giving yourself like an inch. And then let me see the edge here go here. So you're giving yourself an inch. And then let me see the edge. So now if the frame comes in tighter, it's not fucking up with the integrity of your photo. So this is just a small, silly mistake. Everything else that you have up here, Mike, is gorgeous. But we don't shoot because we shoot in a way that like we're doing applied photography, which is our work being used in a commercial way. And we work not on our own. We work with designers, we work with art directors, we work with photo editors, and they understand layout and they understand spacing and these kinds of things that I'm leaning in on. Like, well, when you're new, this stuff isn't leaned in on enough. Print is the highest frequency of photography. Print, meaning an ad, meaning a magazine, like a billboard. Print is the highest frequency of photography, and you won't shoot print if you miss these kinds of mistakes. You'll just be shooting for other people for social media. But once you come up against someone in the know, they're going to call you out on this kind of stuff. And that's what I'm for. I'm here to call you out early so you can correct this stuff, so you can go from earning $8K a month on retainer already, Graves, to earning 10, to earning 15, because you've tightened up these mistakes. And because of that, you've now unlocked magazine work. You've now unlocked ads. You're now doing stuff for North Face, and they're paying you 20 grand, 30 grand, 50 grand for a session. So that happens when you really lock in. And the first thing I helped you lock in was exposure. I helped you lock in exposure. So now you nailed that exposure. The exposure's proper, right? Like now exposure, well, you have that. You got that now, right? You can see how just giving you other frames, suddenly like, oh, I see, like there's other ways that I can share this photo. There's other ways that I can work between these two pages, but I can't really go that high because this is really close to the edge of the frame. But you see this now is an ad for North Face. So try not to be so about the Northern Lights and this Borealis and these star cluster. Like, try not to be so about this. Be about the company who's paying you, which is them. So really feature that. I hope that helps you. That is Mike Graves. Thanks for submitting, Mike. Again, this is a very good swing. It's a very, very, very good swing. In another life, I would have given you an 11. In another life, Mike, I would have given you an 11. But now, sorry, each time you level up, well, I'm already up here. Each time you level up, okay, now that's your bar. So now I judge you against here, and then you'll level up again, and then now that's your bar. So it's like there's no going down on, oh my goodness. If you go downwards, that's when you hear me screaming. That's when you hear me saying, dude, what the fuck are you doing? What are you shooting? What is this? Like, once you've established yourself up here, you can't go here anymore. Because when you like, that's what I'm for. I'm going to be like, dude, no, that doesn't go in your book because you've already established this. You've established that you can do this. Now you don't go down here. So Graves, I'm just turning you into a killer guy. And I'm proud of you. You're making real progress. Real progress, Mr. Graves. Mike Graves. Alrighty. Hey, this is super important. It kind of really important.
Being on camera or speaking in front of people makes you nervous. This challenge is for you. It's called the 30-Day On-Camera Challenge, and I designed it to help you show up with confidence, whether you're recording a video, giving a presentation, or leading a meeting in real life. Every day via email, you're going to get a clear, simple prompt that helps you get more comfortable speaking out loud while building real communication skills that you can use anywhere. Now, I promise you, this isn't just for YouTubers or content creators. It's for anyone that wants to show up more clearly, communicate with confidence, and leave a lasting impression in person or on camera. If you're ready to feel more in control, express yourself with confidence, and learn how to present in a way that feels true to you, start your 30-Day On-Camera Challenge today. All you need to do is go to thecartymethod.com/tools and pick up my 30-Day On-Camera Challenge. Let's get to work.
We are down to the last photos. Andy Phillips. Let's see what Andy's got for me. Andy shot with a Canon T5i with a 26 millimeter lens. Excuse me. Still dealing with this cough. It's a little All right, Andy Phillips, let's have a look. All right, your niche at night. There's a couple of things here, Andy. The first thing I see is the color balance. Ooh. The color balance, Andy, is a little yellow. Look at me, super neutral. But you see here that everywhere where there's a light source, it's quite warm. It's because your color balance is set for daylight. And daylight is 5,000 Kelvin. That's daylight. Nighttime, especially under these kinds of lights, well, that color temperature could go as low as like 2,500, 3,000. But if you're still shooting with your camera set for not auto white balance, but set for daylight, well, this is going to be really, really, really warm. And also, if you look in here, you can see it's also really quite warm in here because now you're seeing what inside here looks like when you're set for a neutral white balance. Denise Tuggle just gave me a lovely donation. Denise, let me play that again. Denise, thank you. You just gave an amazing super chat, Denise. Thank you. I appreciate you for the $20. Thank you, Denise. Yay! I appreciate you so much. Thank you, Denise. All right. Super chat. And Denise, your super chat's going to be up there for the next good while. So enjoy it. Appreciate you. Denise Tuggle. All right. So you can see the whole vibe is the extra warmth is what throws us just a little bit. But I know that you can get there. I know that it's just a matter of getting that color balance right, Andy. Let's look at this as a cover. Let's look at this as an 8x10. You can see the lines up here a little tricky because this is like a downhill that way. This line is straight. It just starts to, like, you're trying to keep a lot of things in this picture. You're trying to keep this in this picture, this path down here, what's going on in this tree. Like, for me, you're not showing me enough of what's happening over here. Like, this is the door, but you're cutting that off in order to keep what's going on over here. So I don't really know what you're shooting. To me, this is the most interesting night scene in here, but it goes way more that way, but you're cutting it off in order to include a whole bunch of nothing. So for me, Andy, you need reps. You need reps in order to be shooting at night and making things that like really hit. There's a whole bunch of not important happening down here. Would you agree? Like, there's just the road here. There's nothing that's important here. This is more visually interesting. So then why not like crop this in such a way that takes that bottom out altogether? Do you know what I mean? And then work the vertical in here somehow. For me, you're trying to include the road just makes it feel like you were walking this way along the way here, and you're like, oh, here's a light source, and I'm just gonna click and then be like, on my way. And you kept going. Like, how many frames of this did you shoot? Did you shoot one or did you shoot 300? Because for me, when you shoot hundreds of frames, you get a frame that works within the sensibility. You notice that it's quite warm, so you change it to auto white balance. Like, when you shoot multiple frames, you find the picture. Not when you shoot click, got it. That says ego, and that says like, I'm so good that in one quick frame of walking by something at night, I'm going to nail my niche, and it's going to be a picture that's good enough to be in my portfolio. And clearly, Andy, this isn't the case. This isn't the case. For me, this is a miss. You have to try harder, bro. You really do. You have to care about I can't be the only one that cares about your career, Andy. You really have to care. And like, it comes from looking at visual references. It comes from buying magazines. It comes from all the things that I say over and over and over again. For me, this one is a miss, Andy. All right. Thank you for submitting, Mr. Andy Phillips. This is Joshua Haney. Joshua shooting with the Canon R6 50mm 1.4. ISO 100 f8 at I can't read that. 1.4 seconds. Is that what you're shooting this at? Like a longer exposure? Oh, right, because you're outside at night. 1.4 seconds. Okay, that makes sense. This is Joshua Haney. Please understand that I'm still dealing with a little bit of concussion issues. This is Joshua Haney. Joshua, thanks for submitting. So, Joshua, this is too much playing. This is too much playing. This is not it. This is not your niche at night. This is your playing. There's too much going on. There's too much going on. There's too much going on. This is a miss. Like, beautiful daughter. This in the foreground, this around her head, like now you're letting your kids do other stuff while you're trying to take the picture, and then now that just jumps the shark. The color balance that's on her, this is quite gray because you're using like a red color balance and a orange color or a yellow color balance. Like, you're mixing color, and then you have the overall strobe color balance. Like, you're just trying to do too many things. And this just, like, I don't want to spend too much time on this. You're a super, super talented photographer. You can't be kitschy when it comes to shooting something like this. When it's your niche at night, it has to be like really dialed. And I feel like what's happening with the moving light, Joshua, is just, it's taking us out of it. The side light and the type of light that we have, which looks very studio, is kind of like the wrong light for this. There's just too many things that make this picture not work. I hope that you see that it doesn't work. And again, realistic light that is imitating a real night scene without flashy lights, without strobe lights, without any, like, that is just, you're just doing that for exposure, and it doesn't look high frequency. It looks like you're playing. And I'm trying to get all the photographers that are watching to take this night, your niche at night assignment, seriously, because when done well, it can be so profound. But when it's done wrong, it's just, you're just, from my perspective, like doing something for me, but it's not doing something for you. This doesn't move your needle, and I'm here to help you move your needle, and I'm trying to guide that. It really comes from really diving in on photographers who shoot at night incredibly well and in an editorial way, and trying to imitate that. Any of the ideas that you're doing that are coming out of your head, if this is an example of that, it's not right. All right, Mr. Joshua Haney, thank you for submitting. Appreciate you. Joshua Haney. You can see, man, it's not easy to shoot at night. It's not easy to shoot your niche at night, and that's why so many photographers just chose to not do it. Like, it's hard to try and miss. It's even harder to just not even try and just stay where you're comfortable, which a lot of you chose to do. A lot of you who are watching this just chose to be like, shooting at night, that's just be well beyond what I want to try. I'm just going to stay comfortable. These photographers that tried, some of them missed dramatically, but they can't make it and hit until they miss and hear my review, learn what they did wrong, and then try it again, and then try it. And at some point, they'll hit. And now they have a night photo, and then they'll do it again, and they'll hit, and then they'll miss, but then they'll hit again. Like, that's what professional photography at this level is. Like, you're gonna hit way closer if you use references. If you're just trying to do it from your own, hey, try this, it's just like, you're just wasting time. I want you to really use intelligent imitation to get there. All right. This is Doyle Daniel shooting with the Nikon Z8 with a 50mm 1.2. Various settings. I love that. Doyle Daniels. Let's get it on. Doyle. Well, this is a yes. This is a yes. Yes. Now, there's a couple of mistakes. But this is a yes. The first mistake for me is the white balance. This is a white car. It's very warm, right? The edge of the car is here, claustrophobically close, Doyle. You're cutting the mirror here. Why? Just back up a little bit. You're almost cutting this here. Why? Just move that way a little bit. So now the frame ends here and the frame ends here, and you still have all the same integrity of the photo. Just back up. Like, that's a thing that, like, really lock that in. If you're seeing this, that's an error. So especially because, like, there's such a strong Mazda brand, this works for Mazda. But again, the white balance is a white car. So neutralize this so it's a white car. Everything else that you have going on in this photo, this ghosting and the double exposuring and the where he's looking and the vibes, I'm loving all of it. I'm loving what he's wearing. Again, consider throwing a light underneath the Mazda, so you have some sort of highlight coming here, a highlight that goes beyond just the main headlights on the car. Throw a light back here, so you're giving me separation here. Throw a light back here off camera, so you're giving separation. So again, this is very, very close, Doyle. Fix the color balance. All you need to do, white eyedropper here, click, and now you have a white car, and the whole scene is now neutral. You can't put things that are this yellow next to the rest of your portfolio that is color balanced properly. So color balance. Look at me here. Look at how this white thing is perfectly white. My black tee is perfectly black, and the warm stuff in the background's warm. Like, the reason that this scene is pleasing to look at is because it's color balanced. It's neutral. If I was to now change the color temperature of this light and make it super warm, well, this scene would be really hard to look at. So we really have to master our color balance. It's the most important thing. The framing things for me on you is like, just lock this stuff in. Lock how close you are here. Lock how close you are here. And bring me some light this way in order to give some separation. If you did that with then the ghosting, you would have even more of a dynamic shot. It's a good swing, but again, I still feel like you're rushing the post-production. You're rushing this a little bit, which is why you're giving me poorly color balanced photos. You're up here, Doyle. I'm gonna call that stuff out on you. I have to. All right. Next on the docket is Charles Fortin. I'm down to my last two photos. Charles shoots with a Sony, an A7R, an A7 IV. Shot this with a 20 millimeter at ISO 1000 at 2 seconds at f3.2. F1000. He should be able to hold that with this. Oh shit! Charles Fortin. Jeez, Charles. Like, okay. Again, to prove a point, to prove a concept, this is so much of a yes, Charles. Couple things, bro. Couple things that are just
yes or yes.
A little bit like, this is just too claustrophobic, bro. This edge, you're giving me 1 centimeter? 1 centimeter at the bottom of the frame? 1 centimeter? All I'm asking, split the difference, bro. Give me your frame here, Charles. This gives me anxiety. This gives me anxiety, like how low your frame is. Like, just go 1 inch instead of 1 centimeter, and let the guy's bum like start right here, Charles. Like, let his bum start right here instead of down here, and then let this go like up here instead of down here. And guess what? All of this stuff is still the same. And if this frame ended right here, which it would if you cropped it that way, guess what? You're not missing anything. Yes or yes? You're not missing anything. Yes or yes? If this frame ended here and you pushed down here a little bit more of this beautiful beachy ground. Overall, unequivocally an 11, Charles. Unequivocally an 11, but this is art and commerce. The commerce part is you getting hired by magazines, editorials, ads, and giving an art director on set. Like, if I was on set and that was your frame and I'm your client, oh my goodness, I'd be like, Charles, push this up. Give me more floor space. Like, give me more floor space because of the uses that I have for this photo. Like, in fact, now I also want you to shoot a horizontal. I want you to shoot a horizontal, Charles, because it's important that I have this picture not just only that way, but I also have this picture this way, because this also is the exact same sensibility. But you can see here when I crop it this way, how much higher in the frame this appears. It's not, because I'm like it wouldn't really be this. Like I would, if I was shooting a horizontal, this now feels like an inch, right? This is now an inch when I'm shooting. That's an inch. And then I would tell you to push this over because it's cutting on the gutter, right? And I'd say to center this up a little. But everything else is super dope, right? And also this product, this tent, that's part of the brand that's hiring you to do this. Well, they're going to want their tent to be a bit bigger in the frame, right? So this really works as a vertical. I want you to see here how this could feel a bit too top heavy. And the most important part of our frame is too low. I'm not calling it nitpicking, but Charles, you're already an assassin. I just need you to just not be so claustrophobic to the bottom of your frames. Be wary of the gutter. So if you shoot this way, I have the option of using this as a this and you putting this now centered and that now centered. So think of when you're shooting vertical, even still, cut your frame in half this way. And then now compose here and compose here, because that's still going to make your horizontal, your vertical, look sexy. All of this stuff I'm doing to help you be a better, stronger, faster, killer photographer. Charles is in my accelerator program. These last few photographers are accelerator members, which is why I'm harder on them because of what their goals are with their photography career. Charles, this is a yes for me. Very well done. Very well done. My initial wow, yes, but now still, it's like we can't rest on ego. Like, wow, I killed that. It's like, wow, I love shooting that, but what could I do to make it even better? We always can make work better. Even if you think, oh my God, this is such an 11, blah, blah, blah. It's like, you're brand new. Come on. You can always be better. And this is why people find me, is because I'm obsessed of showing you the things that you can't see because you're too close. It's you. You're too close to the work. I'm a little further so I can show you things that you can't see. That can give you insight as to what to do the next time in order to make it better. It's super, super simple. This portfolio lab is, again, the sickest thing. And the photographers that participate, it is hard. It is hard to put your work up for critique. But the ones who do, they learn. The ones who are watching me at home and not submitting on your own, but you're just watching me review other people's photos, you're also learning. You're just learning at a slower speed because you're self-assessing. And you can only get so far self-assessing. Like, top pros have other top pros help them get there. I've been having my work looked at by other people since I was 14, 15, 16 years old. My work has been looked at by other people. So I'm so used to my work being looked at by other people that I welcome it. Last photographer of the day is calligraphy. He shot with the Nikon Z8, an 85 millimeter, f2.8, a hundredth of a second at ISO 100 with a Westcott light. This is calligraphy, your niche at night. Thanks for submitting. I like this. There's a sensibility here. There's a vibe here. I like this, Kay. I like this. It's different. It's different and it's editorial. And this guy's a bit of a rapper. Like, I like you shooting through what you're shooting through. Like, it looks like you have like a glass and you're outside and he's inside and you're shooting through the glass. Like, you can see, like, if this was a not so distracting background with extra blah, 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 like there's lots of extra stuff here. But I do see, like, if it was just this kind of a background without all the extra, like, yes. But still, I like it. Still, I see something. It works as a cover. It has a sensibility. It feels like authentic, which I appreciate, like the authentic feeling. I want you to watch your centering. You're just a little bit off to camera right. A little bit off that way. You can see it a little bit more obvious here. But still, Kay, this is a yes for me. This is a yes. This is a yes for me. And again, you're pushing and you're trying something different. I want you to watch this light. Make sure that this side light doesn't come to side. Should come a little bit more that way, because you can see what it's doing on the face. You can see what it's doing here with that light. That's because that's your source. You can see it and it's coming too much from the side that way. So cheat it. If you're wanting the feeling of side light, you can get this same feeling. Instead of having your subject here and the light there, just have the light here. It's going to give you the same feeling, only that won't be there. And it's going to look a lot more flattering. So just watch that when you're lighting from the side. And you can see how the eye, it starts to not look flattering because you're pushing that light too much from back here. And it can't light his face. So bring that light a little bit more that way. It makes such a big difference. But again, calligraphy, this is a yes for me. This is a yes for me. This is a yes for me. I just want to show a couple of... This is not what we want to do. Let's close that. There we go. I just want to show light placement in the front. Like you can see here on Colin Firth, I have that side light placement and I have a little bit of that light happening there. It's more about his eye. Where's a good example of side light, but where like you can see here, that side of her face, there's shadow, but because I'm moving this in, I have good flattering light on both sides of her face, and it doesn't have that half of her eye being lit, but you can still see I have that shadow coming down her nose. Maybe see if I can find one more. Here we go. Here's another one. This is outdoor strobe. I wanted that half light look on her face, which you can see here, but it's more of like a Rembrandt light. So I put it in more on the 3/4, but now I have that light coming through on that side, and I have a very flattering light on her side of her face. You going so half light, there's no way that this would work when you're shooting and wanting it to be flattering. So you have to be very strategic when it comes to that side light. And also something else to try is, rather than doing side light, do top light. You can see here, this is what top light looks like. And again, it's still edgy, very strategic as far as where I place it, but there's different ways that you can mess with it, calligraphy, in order to make your side light, which again, I have side light here, but strategic. I hope that helps you. Guys, those are the last photos. Calligraphy Ridgely is the last. Thank you, Calligraphy. And again, I did give you an 11. I'll give you that again. Just watch that. Watch where you're bringing in that side light. And now we are talking about photos of the week. And I'm reminding you about a couple of new things that we are changing, and also letting you know that next Thursday we are looking at an assignment. Next Thursday's assignment is the magazine cover. Deliver an exceptional photo within your niche that speaks magazine cover. It needs to be bold, editorial, and unmistakable. So excited about that, but we'll get into that in a second. Let's talk first about photos of the week, starting with this photographer right here. Photo of the week. Photo of the week. Delilah LeBoy. Photo of the week. Your niche at night. Congratulations, Delilah. That is a yes. Watch the framing, watch all the things that I said, but yes. Your niche at night. Photo of the week, Delilah LeBoy. Photo of the week. Oh, tricky. Yes, I'm giving you love. Photo of the week. Your niche at night. Israel Cordona III. Photo of the week. Congratulations, Israel. It's a vibe. This picture's growing on me. It's growing on me. I want you to try it again, though. And believe me, try it again. Proud of you, though. That was Israel Cordona III. Oh, you came so close. All right, this photographer, again, ball breaking, but he learned something this time for sure. This photographer, photo of the week, Mike Graves. Mike, banger, but again, I hope you learned all the things that I talked about your framing, how close you're going to the edge, and also good to know that you're not the only one that's doing it, yeah? But watch that the next time around, but very proud of you for your progress. Very well done. You're making huge progress. All right. Photos of the week. Are there more? Yes, I got 3 more photos of the week. Starting with this photographer. His name? Doyle Daniels. Doyle. That's a photo of the week, my guy. There's a vibe here. I want to see this recolor balanced. You can post it to community or you can email it to me. Okay. Well done. Doyle Daniels. Photo of the week. Next photographer. Photo of the week goes to the one and only. Yes. Oh my goodness. The one and only Charles Fortin. Charles, photo of the week. Congratulations. Very well done. Again, remember everything I said. You're doing the same thing with the borders. Just give me a little bit more uppity ups. Hey, you know what? I think I'm going to gift some YouTube channel memberships. So stay tuned. Hang out to the end. And I'm going to gift 5 YouTube memberships. Congratulations, Charles Fortin. That is a photo of the week. And our last and final photo of the week. He goes by one name. You know him as Calligraphy. Photo of the week. Well done, Calligraphy. Survive your niche at night. Amazing. So, you guys know, usually on Thursdays, we do a workshop, which is always super beneficial. It's a Zoom workshop that we do for the members of Portfolio Lab. Today's no different. Only we're changing the time for today only. Today's episode of Portfolio Lab Workshop, which is on Zoom only, it's a Zoom exclusive, is going to start at 2, which is in 40 minutes from now. It's going to start at 2 instead of 3:30. So it goes right from this into the next thing. But we are making some big changes with Portfolio Lab and giving you guys the support that I'm continuing to give you. Starting next week, Tuesday, our Portfolio Lab workshop that is normally on Thursday after Portfolio Lab is going to be Tuesday at noon during Portfolio Lab. And instead of me reviewing photos on Tuesday, I am going to be helping. We're going to be building books. We're going to be there's so many. I'm going to be talking to the members of Portfolio Lab live on YouTube. So you can ask me questions. And again, only if you're in Portfolio Lab are you going to be able to get access. You've always had access to this, but I've never shared it on YouTube. So we're trying something. And I used to offer 8 photo reviews a month. 8. Do you know how many people are using 8 photo reviews a month? 0. Not it's hard to submit twice a week, every week, all month. It's hard. And because of that, either the work suffers, people give me shit work, or they don't submit at all because they're completely overwhelmed. So we're changing some things. Tuesday, instead of me reviewing your photos, I'm going to be talking everything that you need to know about the next week's assignment, how to win. And it's not just going to be me, it's me and my whole team. And for you who's watching at home on YouTube, getting access to this, you're getting access to something that I don't share on YouTube. And again, I'll be interacting a little bit with you, but it's more about you getting to watch the insane stuff that's happening inside the Carte method, inside Portfolio Lab. And if that works, and if you guys like it, we'll dial that up a little bit more. But the great thing is I'll be able to answer questions and solve problems. You'll probably have the same question, you at home. You'll probably need the same problem solved, and I can solve them for you. But it's also to join Portfolio Lab for how much I charge a month. You can pay monthly, you can pay quarterly, or you can pay yearly. It's way smarter to pay yearly because you get 2 months for free. And then let me help you develop your work. What usually happens is Portfolio Lab, people go from Portfolio Lab into my accelerator. That's Portfolio Lab is like a feeder for my accelerator. That's kind of how it goes. I help people develop to the point where it's okay, now you're ready, which I love. But also people just find me. They're good enough. They want to be in, and then now they're in my accelerator, but then now they're also in Portfolio Lab because now for the first time ever for them, I have eyes on their work. So they also they move extremely fast. So that's what's going on. So next week, it's basically going to be portfolio reviews on Thursdays, but Tuesdays, we're doing a very sick workshop. You're going to be able to access it live on YouTube. But if you want to be a part of it, if you want to be in it, you need to join Portfolio Lab. If there's ever been a time to join Portfolio Lab, now's the time. And also, again, I'm going to see what the audience is like. If there's not a lot of people who are watching this, I might do it members only. I don't know. We'll see. I really want this to be something that flies. And also, we give a lot of support. I want to make sure that I'm giving the most amount of support, and I'm enabling the photographers who are submitting on Thursdays now. They have the highest chance of success. So because of that, I'm going to be helping even more to make sure that you have the highest chance of success when I'm looking at your photos on Thursdays. So, what am I talking about? Sorry, what am I saying? What am I telling? Steve, I'm not sure if you know that I had a concussion recently, and doing fast reading is, I'm not great. I'm not that fast. So who are you telling? Who am I telling? I'm telling you, Steve. I'm telling you. That's who I'm telling. All right. So, and then next Thursday, I am looking at your magazine covers. That, and again, you've had 2 weeks to work on that. I want you to shoot a magazine style image within your niche that is bold and unmistakable. Vertical, of course, because magazines are vertical. And I want you to give me the whole image, which is a 3x2 proportion, 2x3 proportion, vertical. And yeah, I'm excited. That's what I'm going to be looking at next week. Next week's going to be the beginning of these changes. Also know on the 23rd, that's not this Saturday, but next is going to be the first round of my next accelerator round. I'm taking applications. The applications are open now. You can apply right now, but as of Saturday midnight, we're kind of closing the applications. I'm hoping if you've been sitting on the fence and you haven't like blah, blah, blah committed to getting your business in order and learn the right things so you can actually succeed at this. As I've said, like how much I charge for my accelerator, I charge $2,000 for the 18 weeks. Mike Graves paid me the $2,000. He's making $8,000 a month on retainer. He's more than made back the money that he paid me, and he's still in my accelerator. So the support that I give in the accelerator, in Pro Lab, in Portfolio Lab is all destined to help you get to the next level. I'm emphatically passionate about it. I just want to see you succeed. I hope you want to succeed as well. I will see you guys in Zoom in 35 minutes.
This commercial-free live stream was brought to you by the members of this channel. If it wasn't for you, we'd have to fill up these live streams with ads that would just interrupt the flow. The members of this channel make commercial-free content during these live streams possible. Consider becoming a member for $5 a month today to gain access to secret live streams, live chats, and to show your support with that crown badge next to your name. Sharing is caring. If this content has brought you value today, share it, clip it, post it to your socials. Curating and sharing helpful content makes you an expert, even if the content you're sharing isn't yours. Be a curator and share this content with your network. If you're an emerging or struggling photographer that's trying to break free from your current 9-to-5 grind and transition to the life of a working pro photographer, that's our obsession here at the Carty Method. Register, get the support you need. If you're alone and struggling at this craft, make sure you join the Carty Method community. You'll always find help in the show notes. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Find your creative and business genius with the Carty Method.
If you've made it this far, please consider becoming a member. Understand that I need, well, I'm hoping for 1,000 true fans. I need 1,000 true fans. I got 46,000, 43,000, 45,000 people subscribed to my channel. Only 150 have become members. Please consider becoming a